The galaxy had watched humanity for centuries. From the moment their first radio signals escaped their small blue planet, the older races had listened with mild curiosity. The Empire, rulers of 17 star systems and masters of quantum warfare, considered humans nothing more than cosmic children playing with dangerous toys. Their ships moved through folded space. Their weapons could crack planets in half. Their civilization was 40,000 years old. What could a species barely 3 centuries into space travel possibly offer? Ambassador Axe stood on the observation deck of the command station, his 4 eyes fixed on the human vessel that had just emerged from hyperspace. Around him, junior officers snickered and whispered among themselves. The human ship looked like something pulled from a museum. Its hull was thick and blocky, covered in what appeared to be simple metal plating. No elegant curves. No shimmering energy shields visible from the outside. No quantum displacement system that they used to phase through enemy attacks. "Is this a joke?" Commander asked, moving to stand beside the ambassador. His mandibles clicked with amusement. They sent a cargo ship to a diplomatic meeting. Axe did not share his officer's humor. Something about the human vessel bothered him. It was too confident in its approach, too calm. The humans had been invited to discuss their expansion into the neutral territories, a region of space they had claimed but never settled. 3 human colony ships had been destroyed as warnings. The humans had not backed down. Instead, they had sent this single vessel. "Scan it," Axe ordered. The scanning officer turned to his console and activated the deep range sensors. The results appeared on the main display, and the room fell silent. The scanning technology was the most advanced in the galaxy. It could detect the number of crew members on a ship from 1,000 kilometers away. It could identify weapon systems through any known shielding. But when the officer tried to scan the human vessel, he received nothing. Just a blank space where the ship should be. "The scan is being blocked," the officer said, his voice uncertain. "I have never seen this before. It is like the ship does not exist." Stepped forward, his earlier amusement replaced with confusion. "Increase power to the scanners. Use military-grade penetration protocols." The officer obeyed. The station's scanners pushed harder against the human vessel, trying to pierce whatever was blocking them. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, every screen in the command center flickered. Warning lights activated across multiple systems. The scanning array itself shut down completely, overloaded by something they had never encountered. Ambassador Axe felt the first touch of something he had not experienced in decades: fear. The human vessel continued its approach as if nothing had happened. It moved with a strange grace that did not match its clumsy appearance. When it finally stopped, a communication request came through. Axe accepted it with a wave of his hand, and the image of a human female appeared on the central display. She wore a simple uniform, dark blue with silver markings. Her eyes were calm, almost bored. "This is captain of the Earth defense vessel Prometheus," she said. "We received your invitation. Though I must say, destroying 3 civilian colony ships was an unusual way to start negotiations." Axe composed himself. The humans were still nothing but primitives with one strange ship. The Empire had crushed species far more advanced than them. "Captain, you are in space. Your colonies violated our territorial claims. The consequences were appropriate." 17,000 people, Captain said, her voice unchanged. "Families, children, scientists, farmers, people who wanted nothing but to build new homes on empty worlds you never bothered to settle. They were warned. They were murdered." The word hung in the air. Axe noticed that the human captain's calm was not weakness. It was control. She was holding something back and he could not see what it was. "We did not come here to listen to complaints from a primitive species," interjected, stepping in front of the ambassador. "You will surrender your vessel for inspection, return to your home system, and abandon all claims to the neutral territories. If you refuse, we will destroy your ship as easily as we destroyed your colonies." Captain smiled. It was a small smile, barely visible, but something about it made several officers step backward. "Commander, I think there has been a misunderstanding. We did not come here to negotiate. We came here to give you one chance." Laughed a harsh clicking sound that echoed through the command center. "One chance. You are alone. We have a full battle fleet in this system, 40 ships, weapons that can reduce your vessel to atoms in seconds." "I know," Captain said. "I scanned your fleet when we arrived. 43 ships actually. 3 hidden behind the gas giant in case of ambush. Quantum displacement drives, phase cannons, singularity torpedoes, impressive technology, truly." The laughter died. No one had detected the hidden ships. Even sensors could not locate vessels using stealth protocols at that range. "Your scans did not work on us," the captain continued. "But ours worked on you. Every ship, every weapon, every crew member. We know the name of your commander's third mate and what he had for breakfast." Axe felt his heart's beating faster. This was not how primitives behaved. This was not how outmatched species spoke to their superiors. The human was not afraid. She was not impressed by their power. She was treating them like they were the ones who should be afraid. "You have 5 minutes to signal your fleet to stand down," Captain said. "You will also provide a formal apology for the destruction of our colony ships and agree to pay reparations to the families of those you killed. If you do not comply, we will demonstrate why calling us primitive was a mistake." Roared in fury and turned to the weapons officer. "Destroy that ship, full fleet assault, show these animals what power means." The weapons officer hesitated for only a second before sending the command. Across the system, 43 warships powered up their weapons. Phase cannons, designed to bypass any known shield technology, locked onto the single human vessel. Singularity torpedoes, each one capable of creating a temporary black hole, armed themselves. The full military might of the Empire turned its attention to one small, primitive ship. And then everything went wrong. The Prometheus did not move. It did not raise shields. It did not try to run. Instead, the hull panels that had looked like simple metal plating shifted. They rearranged themselves, revealing what was hidden beneath. The ship transformed before their eyes. What had appeared to be a blocky cargo vessel unfolded into something else entirely. Weapon systems extended from hidden compartments. Sensor arrays that glowed with unknown energy spread like wings. The entire outer hull had been a disguise, and what emerged from beneath it was nothing they had ever seen. The first phase cannon bolt struck the Prometheus. It should have passed directly through the hull, ignoring all physical barriers. Instead, it bounced away. Something surrounded the human ship, something invisible that they had no name for. The bolt redirected, striking one of the cruisers and cutting it in half. Before anyone could process what had happened, the Prometheus fired back. A single shot, just one. It moved faster than light itself, a concept they believed impossible for energy weapons. It struck the command station, and for one terrible moment nothing happened. Then every system on the station began to fail. Weapons went offline. Shields collapsed. Life support flickered. The shot had not caused physical damage. It had somehow turned off their technology. Captain's voice came through the communication system, calm as ever. "That was our polite greeting. The next one removes your station from existence." Commander screamed at his officers to continue the attack. The fleet obeyed. 42 ships fired everything they had at the human vessel. The space around the Prometheus filled with enough firepower to destroy a small moon. Singularity torpedoes created brief pockets of impossible gravity. Phase cannons hammered at the invisible barrier. For 30 seconds, the attack continued. When it ended, the Prometheus remained untouched. The human ship moved then, faster than the believed possible for something so large. It did not use hyperspace. It simply accelerated to speeds that their sensors could barely track. In less than a minute, it had positioned itself at the center of the fleet, surrounded by enemies on all sides. "Our turn," Captain said. What happened next would be studied by every species in the galaxy for centuries to come. The Prometheus released something, not weapons in any traditional sense, waves of energy that expanded outward in a perfect sphere. Every ship touched by that energy stopped functioning, not destroyed, not damaged, just turned off. Crews floated in darkness as their vessels became metal coffins drifting through space. The battle fleet, pride of an empire that had conquered 17 star systems, was disabled in less than 4 seconds. Ambassador Axe stood in the darkened command center, emergency lights casting red shadows across his face. His officers were silent. Their weapons were dead. Their pride was shattered. The human captain's face still glowed on the only functioning screen, powered by some energy source that ignored whatever the Prometheus had done. "You called us primitive because we do not fold space," Captain said. "Because our ships look ugly to you. Because we are young compared to your empire. But you made a mistake that ancient civilizations often make. You assumed that different meant inferior." She leaned forward, and now Axe could see something in her eyes. Pain, anger, purpose. "We did not develop quantum drives because we found something better. We did not use elegant designs because survival matters more than beauty. We do not rely on shields that can be seen and understood because hiding our true strength is more valuable than displaying it." The Prometheus turned, moving slowly now, letting the paralyzed fleet see it from every angle, letting them understand what had defeated them. 17,000 people, the captain repeated. "You have one standard year to deliver the reparations. You will open the neutral territories to human settlement. You will never threaten Earth or its colonies again." "And if we refuse?" Axe managed to ask. Captain's smile returned, cold, certain. "Ambassador, you just saw what one ship can do. Earth has 400 more. We built them over 3 centuries in secret, while the galaxy laughed at our primitive rockets and clumsy stations. We let you underestimate us because it made you careless." She stood, preparing to end the communication. "You called us children, you called us primitive. You were wrong. We are the species that walked out of caves and learned to split atoms. We are the species that reached for the stars when we had barely learned to fly. We do not conquer because we enjoy it. We do not fight unless we must. But when we fight, we do not lose." The screen went dark. The Prometheus turned and accelerated away, leaving the crippled fleet behind. Ambassador Axe stood in the silence for a long time. Around him, his officers slowly recovered their composure. But none of them spoke. None of them knew what to say. They had spent centuries believing they ruled the galaxy. Now they understood that something new had arrived. Something that had been watching, learning, and preparing. Something that had just announced itself to the universe. Humanity was no longer hiding. And the galaxy would never call them primitive again.